Welcome back to Academy of Scholarships and Transitions. Today I want to show you something slightly different from what we do here normally. So I want to talk to you about how to set up a home office, double monitors, one laptop, everything that needs to be connected to what part of the equipment, what goes into the laptop, what goes into the monitors to make them work. In addition to that, I will also be talking to you about how to get these pieces of equipment within budget. And in addition to getting them within budget, there are things you need to look out for when buying your electronic devices for a home office, the power ratings and all of the other things that come between them to ensure that you get the best quality that you deserve, to get the best quality that will deliver the best result. But remember, a double screen setup will improve your productivity significantly. It will improve your efficiency, and all the people who work from home will actually need this kind of setup to be able to do their work more efficiently. If you're a forex trader, a cryptocurrency trader, or anybody who works on multiple charts or works on multiple documents at the same time, you are one of the people who need this video most importantly. So if you have not subscribed to this channel, please go ahead and subscribe. We'll talk about scholarships, we'll talk about professional networking, we'll talk about personal development and career development, and of course, as you can see, we're expanding into tech reviews and tech setups. So let's get started. Prior to today, I used to have a single screen setup where I had this particular monitor and then connected it to this piece of laptop using a direct HDMI connection. So the HDMI port is here, and then this one has got its own HDMI connector somewhere at the back here, and then it has this VGA connector as well. But the nature of the job I do now requires that I have wider, and also because I'm at that stage of my PhD where I need to write a lot, I needed to get a double monitor setup to replace this particular one. But this one got broken as well. It had a mechanical damage that destroyed the screen. This is an AOC monitor, 27 inches of course. But even though it's AOC, I got it because it was within budget at the time, and it met the things I wanted to do with it. It had the kind of screen size I wanted, and at the time I didn't have a bracket for wall mounting, so what I did was get something that had a base by itself, which this one has. But the good thing is it also came with the option to mount it using a bracket, and these are the kind of features you need to start looking out for when you are getting your monitors. Does the monitor have a VGA connector? Does it have a VGA connector? Does it have HDMI connector? Does it have a solid base? Does it have the capability or the option to be mounted to a stand or to a bracket, as it's more commonly called? Once you have all of those sorted out, then you can go ahead and consider what is within your budget. Close to, I think this cost about 80 something pounds to purchase at the time. So I'm still thinking of what to do with it. Maybe I will dismantle it and then take the panels back to Nigeria anytime I'm traveling and sell it out or give it out to someone. But apart from that, for now, this is considered trash in the UK. So I keep it somewhere by the side, and then we go into the process of setting up the new piece of equipment. Again, this will be the base laptop that will be used for this connection, and this is an Asus product. I've used Asus since 2011 and they've always delivered on quality. I used one from 2011 till around 2022, no, to around 2021, and then got this replacement in 2022. So far it has been good. It has done much of what I needed it to do. At some point I had to upgrade the RAM size to be able to meet up with all the softwares and all the load that goes into it. So this will be the base laptop for my home office, and if you are looking for laptop reviews, I can also provide those ones. If you want to know what to look out for in the laptop when purchasing it, say do a laptop review for, and I will gladly do that. Now these are the screens. This one is the first screen. I've kind of opened the box so I can't raise it up so much. But this particular screen is a Philips product. Very interesting product, Philips. And then it has the HDMI connector. The other good thing it comes with is an inbuilt speaker. It comes with inbuilt speakers. So if somebody is doing something that requires you to play back a sound or play back a music or play, those who do gaming as well, this will be a good monitor for them. The refresh rate is 27 inches as well, which works for me. And then same product, same specification as the second screen. This is also a Philips. I bought the two of them from Amazon on Amazon. Now, why did I go for this particular set of screens? Before buying these screens, I had gone out to look for monitor options, and I looked at options within. I found one option, a Philips as well, the Philips E-line products, curved 27 inches, but the seller was placing it at £90 for one unit. So that day I kept looking on Amazon, and then I found these ones. Instead of the £90, I got this flat screen 27 inches for about 74 point something pounds each. So it was within that same budget, but I got better quality that 4 inches would provide. In addition to the screens, when getting your home office set up, there are other components that you would need. You need the monitors, you need the laptop or anything device at all that connects to the monitors. But in addition, you needed two more things. You need, as a start, you would need something like a docking station. A docking station would help you connect the laptop and then extend the laptop to the screens. And this is a very affordable docking station. It costs about 20 something pounds. Usually you could see docking stations that would cost about £100 and all of that. But this docking station is from Lemorelli. I got it from Amazon as well. It goes with two HDMI connectors, and then it has a Type-C USB connector. So the Type-C USB connector goes into your laptop, and then you're able to pick signal from the laptop and then send out signal to the monitors through the HDMI connectors. This is relatively very affordable. In addition to that, you could decide to have your screen standing. Just like this one, you could decide to have your screen standing on this, but the disadvantage is that when you have the screen standing on this base, the base is not extendable, so the screen cannot go higher. And when you have your laptop in front of these screens, then the laptop is going to cover some portion of the screen. And when that portion of the screen is covered, you struggle to see what is written there. So it's much better to have your monitors mounted, either those that come with extendable base, or you have it connected to a table mounter, like something that's into the table or fixed to the wall, and then you have that device mounted there. So this box came differently from the monitors. The monitors were supposed to be delivered on a Thursday. They came on a Tuesday, which was way ahead of time. And they came in on Tuesday, maybe because I have an Amazon Prime subscription. So these are the things that you will need to set up: laptop, a docking station, a mount or a stand, and then the monitors themselves. Let's go into the monitors, and then I will talk to you. I'll show you some things that came within it. Now this is the monitor. This is all the components that came with it. Why is this Philips, or why are these Philips options very good? They are good because, one, they are within budget. And secondly, they are also good because they come with a stand. So I could connect this directly. If I didn't have money to get the bracket for setting it up, I could just come here, connect this, and then hang the screen, the monitor here. But I don't want to do that now. The reason I don't want to do that is because it's not going to serve my purpose. It's going to prevent me from doing the things that I needed to do, from achieving the things that I needed to achieve. So I'm going to use the bracket. But before I continue, I just want to also point out that these brackets can be really expensive. If you don't shop around properly, you'll find that these brackets, you might get them for like something pounds. The one I found on the Curry's shop that's closest to my house was about 69 pounds. But these ones here, I got them for less than 30 pounds. Because when you shop around in the UK, you often come across different options from different manufacturers, or you come across different discounts from different sellers. So that's what I do basically. And I would advise, whenever you go shopping, try to shop around. But let's keep the brackets first and then continue with the monitor. So the monitor comes with telling you all the things you need to know about the monitor, how to set it up, all the tails options, like how you could bend it, how you could slide it, all of that. Here is something very interesting, and one of the reasons for which I bought these laptops. It is the power rating of the laptop. I believe you can see this. This is the power rating, the power band of the monitor rather. So this monitor is rated as band D, which means it's relatively very energy efficient. You would hardly find a 27 inches monitor that will be rated as power rating C or power rating B or power rating A. But this one comes as a power rating D, which is really very good for me. Some other options would come as power rating E, power rating F. But the reason I don't want to go on all these other power ratings are because these monitors are going to run for a long time, and because they will run for a long time, I don't want to spend so much on energy. I don't want them to consume so much energy from my house, and that's why I went for a power band D. And these are the things you need to look out for when purchasing your own monitor or even your laptop. Some people just go and look at the price. Sometimes you buy something cheaper, but you spend back that money on the energy bills that come with it, except you live in a country where energy bills are fixed. But if you live somewhere like the UK, where you pay for energy based on your usage, then look for something with a good power rating like this one. Then this is the power. Of course, it has to come with a power connector so that you don't need to go looking for cables. And then it also comes with the VGA, the HDMI connector. It has a VGA option, but it comes just with the HDMI connector. So this is the HDMI silver coated connectors here. Preferably, if you needed to do something that has a higher refresh requirement, like top end gaming and all that kind of stuff, you might want to get yourself a gold coated HDMI cable or HDMI connectors. Those ones are relatively faster, but for the kind of thing I need to do, the silver coated HDMI connectors are just quite fine for me. They will be perfect to deliver on the quality that I need them to deliver. So these are the components that came, the accessories. Now, this monitor does not just travel by itself. It comes packed inside of this carton. You would see now that the carton is here, and this is something that they've added to it to protect it from accidents, from impact, and all of that. So when you are traveling with your monitors, you need to also try to go along with things of this kind, something that cautions the screen from getting broken, from getting damaged. The screens are quite fragile, and if you don't protect them, they will very easily be damaged. So you have this on top, and then you have it below within the carton that protects the monitor. Then the monitor itself, this is the monitor itself. I believe you can see it's very nice looking, dark black. And then this is where you would have added the base. You press this in and then you slot in the base just right there. Maybe let me just show us how it works. So if you have this and you are not going for a bracket like myself, what you do is you come in here and then you push this part down so that this can slide in, and then it hooks on it. This lower part goes into these particular holes here, and then that's how you connect your base and it stands. This is Philips, and then this is what I'll be using today to show you how to connect your home office or to set up your home office. So you have the VGA connector here, you have the HDMI connector here, and then you have the power connector on this side. And these two things, I believe you can see them, are the output for sound, because this has inbuilt speakers. You can play it from the speaker directly, or you can connect to those other places. Then this is where the power button is, just here. If you press on it, you turn it on, and that's it. The other AOC monitor that I had, the power was turned on somewhere just around the base here. But this one, the power is behind. Alright, and then this is where you mount it, and this is the option that I will be using for today. If you have got any questions in the process, please go ahead and start dropping them in the comment section. If you want to know why, any other question about why I chose these Philips options, drop me a message in the comment section. If you want to know how any other specific things about home offices, please drop them in the comment section. Now, this is the Philips product. Everything labeled here is what it delivers. It's Philips, that's the manufacturer. It's a monitor, 1000 series, 27 inches, FHD, and then it's got this pixel 1920 by 1080. And then all the other ones are from the delivery people. This is walk in style, wide viewing angle, 100 Hz, easy read, low blue mode, built-in speakers, HDMI connectors. All of these are the things that come with this particular piece. Then again, this is the power rating that I showed you. It should come on the carton as well. If it doesn't come on the carton, then something is not working out right for you there. So this is 27E1N1100 and all the other instructions. But let's get started with the setup. The second monitor, I don't necessarily need to unbox it for you because I believe you already can see it. The same components. This is just it. The same Philips, the same setup of equipment, same thing, and also the power rating. If you don't have this power rating, or if you are looking at band F, then you need to reconsider that screen option, especially if you live in a place where power is paid for based on usage. Now, let's get started. The first thing is we need to walk through the process of mounting this stand because that's what will hold the laptop or the monitors. Now, this came with its own instruction on how to mount it. And you go through these instructions. Usually, even if you are an engineer like myself, you always need to read through these kind of things. This is the manual that comes with it, and operational manuals are always good to read through. Then this is the stand. This is where you put, this is like a hanger. But in addition to that, it comes with all the other connectors, the bolts, the nuts, whatever you need to get this set up. It comes with washers, it comes with everything. And all of these are just packed back in here and then begin to bring them out gradually as we go through the process. So this is from maker of this is Brackweiser. So this Brackweiser monitor stand or desk mount stand is from Brackweiser, and there are other options from other manufacturers that will come out more expensive or relatively cheaper than this. But this one does everything that I wanted it to do, or that I needed to do. That's why I went for it. Now, how does it work? You see, these ones are called, let me use the technical names just for it. So this is called a pole. And then this one is called, there is something beneath here. This one is called a grommet. This is the grommet. And the grommet holds the pole from below the table. So it's going to hang from under the table, and then the pole is going to be above the table, but you lock the grommet to the pole. Then, in addition to that, tap plates. These are tap plates. These are the vessels here. These ones, they are the vessel plates, and these are the things that will fix into the back of the, and then be able to connect it to the stand. Apart from that, there is also the arm. This one is called the arm, and you look at this now, it's folded, which is good for those who want to travel around and who would like to transport this from one place to the other. This is quite good. And you can fold it, but as you can see, it begins to extend. If I wish to, I can hang it on this pole like this, and then it stands. But I can stretch it out. As you can see, it goes out, and then the monitors can hang on both sides of the arm. And the arms can rotate, so I can turn this pretty much. This can turn 360 degrees, right? I can turn this 360 degrees, and it rotates through. On the other hand, I can also, so if I'm working with somebody and the one person needs to be seeing this other screen behind, I can just rotate it. The person is seeing the screen from the other side, I'm seeing the screen from this side, but this is quite good and I love it. You can extend and draw the screen closer to yourself. If you wanted to see something, you can move it backwards to stay away from you. If depending, you can adjust the location, adjust the angle, and adjust the place where you are standing or how close the screen is to you. All of these are things you can do with. Each of this arm, according to the manufacturer, can hold up to 10 kg. That's the Brackweiser desk monitor mount. Each of this arm can hold up to 10 kg. So if you had a screen that weighs up to 10 kg on this side, you can also have another screen that weighs up to 10 kg on this side. But preferably, try to balance the load. If you have 10 kg here, don't load 1 kg here because you need to try to balance the load. So this one goes in here and it holds it. So the arm will go into the pole and then you screw it in there, hold it, fasten it there, and the screens will mount on this side. I've not mounted this kind of screen before, but we're going to walk through it and you will see how the whole thing comes out today. So that's it. First step, you need to go, and then these are the installation guides. You need to go and clamp the installation. So the pole needs to first go onto the table. You hold it using the grommet, and then after you've installed that grommet, then you now need to install the arm on the pole. After you've installed the arm on the pole, then you need to install the VESA plates back to the screen, to the monitors. And then after you've installed the VESA to the monitor, you now need to mount the monitor on the arms of the desktop mount. Alright, so how do you do that? First, you get your grommet out. Alright, everything is well detailed. You can see this is the support, and that's it. That's B. So you go in there, you put that at the back of your screen, at the back of your table there, or wherever you want to mount it, and then you can screw it in. But there is going to be something that holds this other one that clamps the top here. But let me just pause this for a while now, and then I turn the table a little bit around while we begin to load the installation. Alright, so let's continue. This is where it gets very interesting. How do you connect this stand so that everything works out perfectly? First, this is going to be your stand. This is the grommet, as we already said, but you need to be able to connect this and hold it to the table. Now, if you look at the manual, for those who know how to read manuals, you see this is step 1. And this is the step B in step 1, before you now move on to step 2 where you do the rest of the connections. But in step 1, you need to be able to connect this and fasten it to the table before you now hang these arms in the following steps. But to be able to make this one and this one to hold to the table, there is an additional piece of equipment here that you need. This one here will kind of connect to this, and then let me show you on the manual. So this one connects to this through these places, and then they get connected or hooked into this part of the grommet, and this is how it is demonstrated here. I believe you can see what I am showing you. So this connects to this, and then you hook the grommet into that, and then you can fix it on the table or to the table before you can now come over here and start doing all the mounting. So let's start doing it just right away. And I'm going to take this stuff out now. All these compartments here, I will just take them out. So this has to now come out of its location, and then I'll go back in here and look for all those nuts. These ones are for the screens, and then this also needs to now come out. Alright, so what do we do? So if you look at this now, you see that all the nuts, the fasteners are of different sizes. So these ones I would assume are for the screens. These ones I would assume are for this base, the grommet and the mount. And then all of these washers here would most likely be for the screen. But these things here would explain all of that. So this is my Allen key. And this Allen key is able to tighten everything here. So it just goes into this place. This head goes in here. You can tighten it, you can loosen it, and all of that. What do we now? We need to get this stuff out according to the manual. So we need to get these bolts out. We'll loosen it first, and then after we've loosened it, we now have to connect this from underneath of this base. So this goes in this way, right? Then we pick this up and we tighten it back. Pick it up and we fix it back. Pick it up and we fix it back, and then tighten, because it's going to be carrying some load. You need to make it strong, hold it fast to it. So this gets tightened, and all that. Fix it very well. So this is now tightened to this particular base, and the next thing you want to do according to the manual is you've loosened it, you've tightened it, then you need to connect this particular place and ensure that they lock into themselves. Alright, so this locks in here. I believe you can see it. This is a very simple one. So this one locks in here. There are 3 openings there. I just want to be sure that they are locking into the right locations. Yeah, So it locks in there, and then you can. So this locks in, it locks in from the inside, and then you can adjust this other one from the underneath until this holds strongly to your table, until it holds firmly to your table. All right. So, but let's do this first. I want to loosen it first, get it out of here, and then take it to the table side where I want to mount it. Alright, so you can loosen it, you can tighten it, you can do anything with it, and then that is how you get them set up. Alright, so before I fix this, there is something here that doesn't seem to have a particular use yet. The use is not very clear. I want to identify it. So it is labeled H, and this is F, right? So this is, I don't see where this is fixed. This is G, this is H. So this H is to the arm. This is for the arms of the stuff, so we're not using it yet. Alright, then I just go in here, and then, so let's do this, let's turn this slightly. Can you see that now? I think it comes out more clearly if I turn this way. Alright, so we go here, and basically I just connect this, and then I come in here to the table side. So I need to adjust this downwards a little bit before it will be able to hold on to my table. So I go down there to start jumping over to the other side of the table. But what I'll do is just to fasten this. Alright, I believe we can see what I'm doing. So to fasten this, I will keep turning it. I should move it slightly to the center of the table. That should be good. Slightly to the center of the table. I hold this, I turn it, I turn it. It's getting stronger now. That feeling of a base that is becoming firm. Alright, you want to make it firm enough because you are going to be hanging two monitors to it, and each of those monitors should weigh close to maybe 5 kg, if I'm not mistaken, 4 point something kg, I think. So this is where it stands. You can see it's just very firm at that point now. So the next thing is I want to now go there and mount this arm. Alright, mount the arm. Before mounting the arm, this is something here. I don't know why they've just included this, but I really can't tell what it does. Maybe it's for the cables, to hold the cables just behind this should be a cable way. So this thing holds the cables. You can pass your VGA, your HDMI cables through this, and that's why it goes in here. It doesn't have anything that you use to hold it. It just goes in there, and it's adjustable. You can leave it here, you can move it up. It holds your cables so that your cables are not lifting around everywhere. That's how the setup is working and coming together. After you've set these ones up, you fixed this to the table. The next thing you want to fix are the arms. You want to fix the arm to the stand. So the arm is, you look at it, you can, if you turn it this way, for instance, if you turn these arms this way, you would find that it's kind of upside down. So because these are supposed to be on the upper side, if you follow what is drawn here. So you see this is upwards, and that's why you want to mount this from the upper side. Now, how do you mount this? If you look at this place, it has a hole that should be able to go through this particular place. Right? I believe you can see that. Yeah, so this should be able to go through there. But if you push this, it might not go through now because there are bolts that hold it. And you want to loosen those a bit. Loosen this so that using your Allen key, you want to loosen this a little bit to make it easier for you to pass it through the stand. So I loosen this. I don't want to loosen it so much because I wouldn't want to stress myself tightening them back. So I just loosen it. This is already loosened a little bit, so I need to work on this one. So loosen it. I need to right, just loosen this a bit so that it can go through that sand easily. I'm going to demonstrate this using the first monitor, which I had unboxed. So you come here, take this. I believe you can still see what I'm doing. Alright, so this is it. I need to walk carefully with this. Good enough, you can stand by itself this way. You don't want to risk it, but For the purpose of this, you can let the monitor stand this way, and then you now need to carefully stand what you are trying to do. So these are the versas, and they should go in here. So they could, depending on the way the monitor is built, some might have to go through this place. Some monitors, depending on the size of the monitor, the fix might be through these particular points which are within, but these ones can fit into the other sides. So when your big question is, how do you mount this screen onto this place? I'm going to explain it in a very short, very quick format. Now, when you take off this particular piece of manual, it's just one sheet of documents, 2 pages, but it contains all the information about how to mount this bracket, how to hold up the stand, connect the stand to the grommet, connect to the versas to the screen, connect the versas to the screen, and then how to eventually connect that monitor itself to the stand. We've shown how to connect the stand. We've shown how to fix it to the table. I've also shown you how to connect the grommet, but I'm going to run through that again for the sake of those who didn't get it clearly at the first time. These are all the things you need to connect the grommet, and when I say grommet, this is what the grommet is. Let me just show you. So this is the grommet, and this has to go into the back of the monitor so that you're able to mount it here. Before you can mount it, you also need to study this. You see, you look at this particular place now, and you see that the grommet, or the versa rather, when I say the versa, this is the versa, not the grommet. When I say the versa goes into this particular place, but before you hang it here, it needs to mount onto the monitor first. So the monitor I am going to open now. All right. So this is my second monitor. The question is, how do I mount the monitor to the stand? The monitor mounts to the stand using the versa. The stand is already connected to the table with the help of the grommet, but the versa is going to connect this monitor that I have here to this stand here. And the benefit of the stand I got is it can move around, you can adjust the height, you can adjust the angle of your screen, you can fold, you can bend your screen, you can tilt it away, you can tilt it towards yourself, draw it closer, and all of that. So you can see this screen that's already mounted, I can bring it closer, I can turn it this way, I can turn it this way, I can push it up like this, turn it this way, all of that. I can turn this one this way. All these turnings are possible. In fact, I can almost turn this all the way to the back. If I had some space at the back, then it can turn 360 degrees. If you look at this particular side now, that's on the stand, I can move this. I can adjust the height up, down, to the maximum height of the stand. But that's not my interest now. How do I connect this particular monitor to this particular stand? That's what you need to pay attention to. And I'm going to show you how that is done using the versa and using all these pieces of equipment that came with the Breitweiser monitor mounter. So this is the Allen key. This is also going to be useful. These ones are not really that useful for holding anything except the wires. This is for you to hold your connectors. That's the VGA connectors or the HDMI in my case, so that they don't litter around all over the place. This again comes with this second monitor. You see the HDMI silver coated. You see the power connector. All of them are here. This is the monitor manual. I'm not going to be needing it for now. These are the stands, or this is the stand for this monitor. I could have chosen to not use this, but I wanted more flexibility. I want to be able to move my monitors around. That's why I got all these other pieces that you can see there. Otherwise, this particular stand is just good enough. If I was going to, I'm going to keep this. I'm not discarding them or throwing them away. The reason I'm keeping them is because if I needed, like say, on a particular day I wanted to use this particular monitor out of this setup, then I need to just come here, get the versa out of this particular place. That's this, unscrew this versa, and then carry this monitor, mount it on this particular stand, and that will be me walking somewhere inside the room or any other place. So this is it, the stand. I'm not going to use this stand. So for now, I'm not using it. Don't come asking me for it because I'm not going to give it. I'm not going to give it out. I still need them. I may still need them somewhere around. But again, the cushioning effect, so that in transit you don't get it broken. I'm going to keep this, and one of the benefits of keeping your cartons and all the packaging that come with it is if you choose to resell this, then they give you some kind of added value, even for your phone, for your screens, for any of the things. If you have some space in your house, try as much as possible to keep your cartons and the packaging. It also helps when you are moving house, moving accommodation, and that could be useful. Again, this one has the VGA connector, the HDMI connector, which we'll be using, the power connector. It also comes with option for mounting. This also comes with the power button here at the back. Some other monitors, the power button will be somewhere below here, but the power button for this is at the back. All right, so let's fix it and then get this review closed out. How do you do that? This is the VESA. This is the back of the monitor. I want to be sure that you can see what I'm showing you. Yeah, that's clear. Then you need to, when you look through this, you'll find that there are two options. If you look at this, you have the H1, H2. If you take this up, you will see this labeled as H2 and this labeled as H1. And then it gives you the place where G1 and G2 goes to. So G1 and G2 are the bolts. You can use either G1 or use G2. But in this case, I'm going to be using the G1. They are longer. I believe they will be firmer and they'll be able to hold this monitor better. I think some other monitors are much better with the G2. I don't know, but what I can see, this G1 will be the best option for me. And these are the washers. They go in with the screws, and then you have your VESA set. Or your monitor ready for mounting. This is how the VESA should be. This particular point should come from the top, and it should come from the top and facing outside. The reason is if you put this particular place against the monitor this way, then you'll not be able to screw this stuff tightly. But when you turn it like this, the flat parts of the VESA should hold onto the monitor. When the flat part is holding onto the monitor, then you can screw your stuff in properly. And after that, you come to this particular place. Can you see my hand? Yeah. So you come to this place. The way this stuff is situated now, you can't mount this screen to it. But when you turn this around a little bit, you find that you now have an open space here where this one would go into. Let's turn the camera a little bit. So you have this, and you have this opening here where the screw goes into. Then this is what you have. This is what you aim to achieve. But you don't want to do this first, because the monitor should first be connected to the VESA, and after that you mount it to the stand. So let's go get this connected to the monitor, and then we will mount it and call it a day. So I open this up. All right, so I'm going to be using this one. I'll tear this open. I'll need the 4 of them, so I'm not being very careful about anyone falling out just now. I'm also going to need all the 4 washers. I bring all of them out. My table is quite spacious. I'm going to need all the H1 and all the H2, so I go straight in, I tear through them, and I have all of them out here. Right? Be careful when you do this so that none of them go missing. The G2 rather, I'm not going to need them, so they go into my toolbox. Always try to get yourself a toolbox. It will always be helpful. Now, what does this mean? The washers, they go into the screws first. When you look at it, there is a flat side, there is a curved side. The flat side should be facing the VESA. The other part should be facing the head of the screw. Then you have that, and this red one follows it. That's G1 or G2. I think G2. Then this, you come to the second one, same thing. It goes in here, followed by the red, which goes in here. And then you come to the third one, the washer goes in, and then you follow it with the red one. Wait, that's it. Pick it up. Come back here. So this goes in the fourth one, and then you have the red one going in here. After that, what do? All of these would go through the VESA. This goes 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 through the VESA. Remember, some screens would come in such format where you'll be using this other space within the internal spaces, but my own monitors are big enough. The brackets mounting locations are outside, so I'm going to be using the outer locations. And then you have this which would go in on the side, this which would go in on the side. So you just come in and you fix it. All right, so this goes in here. I put this here, goes in. I can now screw this a little bit so that I don't keep moving all of this around. So then this one goes into. This is falling off. This goes in here. That's again falling off. Well, you have to stay here. So this is it. You just screw it in. They've not included a screwdriver on this piece, but a screwdriver is not very much even necessary here. From what I can see, you can pretty much do it with your hand, but as always, to make things firmer, it's better to use the tools that are dedicated to them. So where is my screwdriver just now? Okay, so you will, I believe you have your own screwdriver somewhere there, but we will screw this in a little bit. Where is this tiny thing? Okay, just a moment. I have fallen to. Yeah. Okay, I found it. So when you work with all this equipment, just be careful because they can easily go missing. So I come here, I screw it in, I fasten it, That's it. Boom. Then I just come here. I come onto this side and then I mount it. Hopefully you're able to see this from the back. Just before that, let me fix this camera properly. I think it's trying to behave in some funny ways. Can you see that? So I'll do this, turn this a little bit so that you'll be able to see all the things that I'll be doing there very clearly. This is a good opportunity for you to learn how to mount all of this kind of stuff. All right. Okay, so I take this up and then I come in here and this would go, the edges of this particular thing will go through the inside. You see, there is a space here, it goes in and then it hooks. You would have heard that sound. It just goes in there and you can tighten this up. Again, to make it hold perfectly, you need to use your Allen key because that's the tool for mounting this particular side of it. So that's it. It's tight now. Remember, how tight it goes depends on the value you place on your monitor. If the monitor wants money, please put some value on it. Now, if you leave this way, it's going to be sliding up and sliding down. To make that, to correct that, you come to this place and you fasten it. So you fasten this side. You know, a little bit of fastening, it just goes. But you can always adjust. If you turn this, you can adjust it. If you want to bend your screen, you can adjust it and all of that. But for now, I think I will just be fine with the screen being almost straight. I'll make a little bit of an adjustment to this much later, but this is the perfect setup. Double monitor mounted on a Breakwiser stand. My Allen key is going to go into my toolbox. This is an added equipment. Remember that whenever you receive this piece of equipment and the Allen keys come with it, preferably try to retain the Allen key that came with that particular equipment. Makes it easier to lose, makes it easier to fasten, makes it easier to relocate it and all that kind of stuff. So this goes to my toolbox for keeping, and that is all about the screws for now. These ones, they will come here I'll try to see how they fit in. So this is it. It's going to hold the VGA cables. That's just the job it will do for us here. Would it be this way? Or would it be the other way? Let me see. Okay, so I think this way. Yeah. Does it go in here? So let me see something. Let's see what would be the best location for that to go into. Alrighty. Alrighty. So one goes in, one goes out. So these are just for the cables basically. They don't need so much of fastening. No. Looks like there is a way it should be. Is this it? No. So I'll just have this fixed here and then have this other one fixed here. This one, I'm going to keep it as a spare. Then for the VGAs, I would come here and then plug it. I want to finish this setup today so that you have everything complete. So this is the VGA. I'll come here and then plug it in. It goes in there, and I'll look for the second one. Plug it in for you. These are the power connectors. There's the other one. Okay, just a moment. Pick it up here. So the power connectors, they'll go in on their own as well. And then that should be all that I need. So that's the power connector there. It goes in there. So this one is sorted. Now I can turn it away and turn this one in the second screen or the second monitor. I don't know why I keep calling this screen because I think it's just fun to call them screens. So I put in the power connector, the power cable, boom. That's going well. Yeah. And then I put my VGA. Sorry, HDMI, not VGA. HVAs were more common in the days when I was doing worked as a computer technician. Then this one goes in, the HDMI goes in here. I know you can't see it, but that's where it is. And that's that. Now, to make all this stuff work and behave the way we want them, we are going to I'm going to pause this video shortly. And so to make all these things connect to this piece here, to make the screens or the monitors connect to this laptop here, I need this docking station. When I was ordering this docking station, I felt it was bigger. It looked like something stronger, something bigger. But when it came very light. So I'm kind of, is this really what I ordered? Or is it a case of what I ordered versus what I got? But let's open it and see what is inside and how that would help us. So this can do up to 4K, 30 Hz, multiple screen connectors. I'll just open it, unbox it, and then see what the components is. Interesting. This is very light. I never imagined that it was going to be as light. I hope this serves my purpose. So it's got the USBs, connectors. It even has a place where you can insert a memory disk. Interesting. And then it has the VGA here. It has... Okay, this needs an external power source. Okay, so that means the box, it doesn't come as a complete pack. You need to power this up using most likely a Type-C USB, but the HDMIs are here. So let's just connect the HDMI first, and then I'll look for the Type-C connector for it and see. So this HDMI, the first one, let's see, the first one goes in here, and the second one goes in here. Then how does this connect to the laptop? This would connect to the laptop through this particular USB port here. So I'm going to, the USB comes covered, so I remove it, and then I plug this in here. Ideally, I would think that this should take power from the laptop, but let's try it and see what it gives us. Let's try it and see what it gives us. If it doesn't give us the right thing, then I would look for a Type-C and add to it. Before we start powering up, let me get my... I want to show us how to set this up to make the two of them function. You see, I had shown us earlier in the video that this Lemurel was the docking station that I would use. But unfortunately, in the process, I realized that the laptop I have, which is an Asus, the Asus laptops are, you know, some of the versions of Asus are stubborn when it comes to docking stations. And I didn't do my homework so well, I would say, because I tried to connect this particular laptop to a docking station within the university, this particular laptop. And somehow it didn't just work. And it did not occur to me to confirm the status of the Type-C USB port. So the Type-C USB port here, I would link something, I would add something to this video that will show you the categories, the grades of the Type-C USB. There are some that are just used for transferring files, like data transfer. There are some others that can transfer data as well as transfer video. This one cannot. There are some other Type-C USBs, let me just pull it out, that can transfer data and charge up your laptop. But this one does only a file transfer. If you look closely, you see something like SS written there. So SS before the USB sign just shows you that the USB can only transfer files, right? And because it can only transfer files, this docking station, which is a Type-C USB docking station, will not work on this particular device. I tried it, it doesn't work. And because it doesn't work, I had to stop the original video and then restart the video after I made this other project. And if you are using an Asus laptop, for instance, it's very important that you pay attention to this. Many of the earlier generations of Asus would not work. Your Type-C USB will not work as a graphic adapter. You can't use it to transfer, project your screen to any other monitor outside of that. Of course, it comes with a HDMI, which you can always use, but for the Type-C USB, you need to be more careful over that. So I started doing my search and, you know, walked around the internet, tried to investigate a couple of things, and then I came across this particular one, which is StarTech. This from StarTech, And you know, how did I even come across this? I was searching. I went to the Asus website. I read up a couple of things, and it was while searching on the Asus website I realized that this USB port does not work for video transfers. And so I started looking, and somewhere on the internet I saw a guy, I can't remember his name now, but he made a YouTube review where he listed a couple of options for connecting double monitors to a laptop with my kind of situation. And then he referred to this particular company, StarTech. You know, before this I had tried the data, there's something they call display link. I tried the display link option. It wasn't still working on this particular laptop, so I had to go for this Starcom docking station. So what's the difference? The Starcom docking station works with your USB 3, I think USB 3.0, USB 2.0. Here is written USB 3.0, but it would work with USB 3.1, USB, I think even USB 2, because I know that one of the USB ports on this laptop is a USB 2.0 from what I had read about the laptop and what I remember. So but preferably stay with USB 3.0, 3.1, or USB 3. Whatever it is. Buy it, and I tried it. So the guy who made the review is based in the US. I think StarTech is a US company. But when I got to Amazon, I looked it up. It was going to take a number of days to send it from Amazon USA to here. So I went to Amazon UK and I looked up this option. I got this one for about, I think 42 or 48 pounds. I can't remember exactly now, but it was 40 something pounds that I got this. This other one is a much cheaper option. And what I discovered is, for those of you whose Type-C USBs can transfer files and videos, you are on a lucky side, because you get the Type-C USB docking stations at much cheaper prices. This one was about 20 something pounds, I think 23 or 26 pounds, but this particular one is 40 something pounds. Now, this one is just a USB connector, normal USB connector, and projects out to two HDMI connectors. But this other one has multiple ports. It has a VGA connector, it has two HDMI connectors, it has other ports for connecting your mouse and your keyboard and all of those kind of things. This is more like a multiple function. It has more functionalities than this StarTech one. But the StarTech one, I'm stuck with this because it's what delivers what I wanted. So I'm going to continue the rest of the video with the StarTech one, and then I will show you how it connects to the computer and the screens. So what does it do? I just come to this place. It's pretty much a plug and play, but when you plug it first, you will realize that it takes it could take a couple of seconds, it could take a couple of minutes before it finally connects and before it begins to transfer displays, because I think this is going to install a driver on your computer that kind of reconfigures the functionality of your USB ports to make it able to send graphic information, send like video information, make it more like a graphic adapter. So it sends information to your screen. When I first connected it, it looked like it wasn't going to work until after a while. I tried to change to different parts of the USB ports, and eventually it started working. And once it started working, I then tried to transfer it to all the other USB ports on the laptop and realized that it was also working on all of them. So this is what I'm going to do now. I'll try to show you how it connects to the laptop, and then I will also show you how the laptop connects to the monitor. So I just take this off, and then I come here, I plug it in to a USB port. It could be the USB port to the left, it could be the USB port to the right, it doesn't really matter. But once you get it connected, then these are the HDMI ports. Can you see that? These are the HDMI ports. And you go from these HDMI ports, you just come and you bring any of the screens or any of the monitors first, you connect it, boom, it goes in there, and then you take the second one and you connect it, it goes in here. So you see the screen more like flicker for a while, you know, sometimes blink like that because it's picking up something. And then this is my LinkedIn account connected here. The computer is disconnected from the internet just now, so you wouldn't, you know, you know what I mean. Now the screens are connected, but they are still blank. The reason they are still blank is because I've not turned them on. I'll turn them on just now so you can see. I'll move the video to 1 magnification, and as I mentioned earlier in the video, the power buttons for this particular screen, these screens are somewhere at the back. So this one comes on now, you can see it. This one, I touch on it, it comes on, and then you just wait for what is going to happen. So this one says no input signal. Yeah, something is not properly connected there, but it's going to get itself aligned, and then you see it just work. So this is, yeah, so you need to be careful with the USB so that it's just properly connected. Now you will see what shows up. Yep, so that's it. The monitors are now fully connected. You can give a round of applause, you can say congratulations and all of that, but this is the setup that I now have. So you can see, I'll zoom in a bit so that you can see most of the other things that I will be doing. I will adjust the camera as well, so you will be able to see what is happening here. I don't know if we can capture both screens, but let me try, and then we can see the camera. My camera is just very close to my laptop, to my stand, but let's see what happens. So now you have this particular setup, and very often a lot of people would struggle because now you see that there are different things showing on the screen. On the laptop, just a moment, this is a bit of shaky. So on the laptop you would see one screen. On the monitors you will see different displays. Okay, so I'll move this a bit to a more comfortable location. I'll move it to the right hand side so it stays more comfortable and more consistent. All right, so a lot of people would struggle with how do I position the screens? How do I get this one to show something different from the other ones? How do I get this to show the other one? But here, what you can see is that this particular place is showing one thing. It's showing Copilot at the moment. I'm going to close it, and then I just get back to the LinkedIn account that I was showing before. Or let's use TikTok. Right, okay, internet is off, but let me use Microsoft Office to demonstrate what I wanted to demonstrate. Reconnect. No, I don't want that. No, I don't want that. So you close. Then I come to this place. Let's just say Word. I open Microsoft Word, and then I open Microsoft PowerPoint, and then I open Microsoft Excel. All right, because most of the job I do these days would require me to do PowerPoint presentations and then work on analysis using Excel. So we get those 3 components opened up. In the meantime, I will also get my internet set up, or turn on my internet. So you just wait and see. Okay, now this is Microsoft Excel. I will open up Excel here. Excel open, and this is PowerPoint. So I open a new one. This is okay. Let's just say blank screen. Let's do something that already has color so that it's easier for you to see the things that I'm doing. So I want my Microsoft Office to be on my laptop screen, and then I want my PowerPoint to be on my screen 1, and then the Excel to be, Microsoft Word on my laptop screen, PowerPoint on screen 2, and Excel on screen 3. So what do? I just move this to this particular location, and then I click more like, okay, let me see if you can see what I'm saying. So this is the laptop, right? Can you see the screen of my laptop? Can you see that now? Okay. So I'll come to this place and then I click on it and I just drag it. So I drag it and you can see it show up on the third screen there. Can you see that? I believe you can. And how do I get to do this? So this side is PowerPoint. I could say, let's say something like insert. No, you don't close yet. So I could say this is PowerPoint on this other side. And this is Microsoft Word here. So the laptop has been busy, so I expect it to have some delays in between. But this PowerPoint, let's say PowerPoint presentation, right? And then this is Microsoft Excel, as you can see. And because this is now, so I'm now able to work on different things. I can be preparing my charts here, my calculations here, my analysis, my data processing and all that on my Excel while I'm doing the presentation here on PowerPoint, and then writing down the reports here. That's really lovely. If you are somebody who does something like cryptocurrencies, you can be looking at your, what's it called again? You can be looking at maybe your Bitcoin here, your Ethereum here. You can be looking at XRP here. You can be looking at Mantra here, anything. You can be looking at all the other charts and all that. Now, it becomes even more interesting because you can split each of these screens. So when you go to the, I'll do another video on that maybe, but you can split this screen. So I can decide to do something like this. So I come to this particular screen, I make it into 2. And then I can add my email address in my email here. I can come to this other screen and I split it. That's the same way. So you have like 3 monitors, 1 laptop monitor, 2 external monitors. But each of the 2 external monitors, you can actually split into 2 different monitors and make them into 4. So 2 monitors here, 2 monitors on the other side. You can even go further to make it more than 2. So if I did this, for instance, I can come back to this one and say, oh, I don't want just 2. I want this to be split into, like, let's say into 4 different screens or into 3 different screens. The arrangement can differ. I can decide to say something like, let's say, let me try to capture this. So I can decide to say, I want to split this screen into 2, which is 1 and 2 here. I can decide to say, oh, I want to split this screen into, let me zoom in and see. Oh no, it doesn't work. So I can decide to say I want to make this into 3 different screens, 1 big one here and 2 smaller ones here. I can decide to say I want to make this into 4 equal screen sizes. These are for those who do cryptocurrencies more often, forex market and all that. I can decide to say I'm going to do this into 3, 1 big one at the center and all that. So if I take this, for instance, let's say I have this. So I have this one big screen on the extreme end of it, and then I can have this at the upper side, and then I can have, let's say, something else here that it goes into that place. Now, if you didn't know that this page is on TikTok, I do have a small presence on TikTok. Well, not really small, but about 1,000+ followers there. So you can also look me up on TikTok. Chukwuemeka Augustine is the name there. You can find me on TikTok and let's connect as well. I'm also on Facebook, just in case you didn't know that. On Facebook, you have my personal profile, Chukwuemeka Augustine Okechukwu Chukwuemeka, and then you also have Academy of Scholarships and Transitions, which is the main page. All right, so let's do that. But how do you get this to work this way? That's the big question. How do you make these systems to be able to display different things? The first thing you do is once you connect your monitors to your laptop, the first thing you should do is to do what is called go to your home screen. Don't mind the screen. It has a lot of things. That's always a PhD students, whatever. But you go to this place, you go to display settings, you click on that. And so you go to your home screen, your desktop, you right click, you select display settings. And when display settings open, then you can search, you can fix up your displays there. You can choose how your monitors are going to be positioned, what comes where and what doesn't go where. Now this is mine and this is the way it is set up. You can see, let me just be sure that you see what I am trying to show you. Can you see this? No. So let's adjust the camera a bit. Let me try to adjust the camera so that you are able to see what I am saying more clearly. So maybe I would focus this on all right, this is also the comfort that comes with having this kind of setup. I'm going to adjust one of the screens, one of the monitors, so that you are able to see what I am going to demonstrate to you now. All right, does this work fine? Does it not work fine? I don't know, but manageable, right? Manageable. Okay, so let's do this now. You come to your home screen on the desktop. Any of the monitors now can do that. Then you right click on the desktop. Let's say I clear off all of these now. I come here, I right click, and what do? I go to display settings. If you can see that, can you see display settings here? So let me move a bit. I want to be in a position where you can see. Okay, so this is display settings here. I click on display settings and somehow it opens on my laptop screen, but I'm going to drag it to that main screen. And then do I enlarge it or is it just fine now? I'll move this upwards. No, move it downwards so that the camera can catch it well. Then I have this system set up this way. So screen 1 is my laptop. Screen 2 is this particular screen, and then screen 3 is this other screen on the side. Why did I do it that way? I did it that way because I want to be able to have a transition from my laptop and then through the second screen and to the third screen. There is a different arrangement where you decide to move, where you can decide to move the laptop screen to somewhere in between. So how do you do that? You press on this and hold it. So you left click and hold, then you can drag it to this particular location. So it comes in between. What that means is if you apply these settings, then your laptop comes in between the two. So you'll be able to go from your laptop to the left and then from your laptop to the right of the screen. It goes more like, it kind of rearranges the order of your screens and how the monitors and how they are positioned. I don't want to apply this, but let's even apply it and see if it has the effect that we expect it to have. So you can see this is my cursor here. It comes from here, it enters the laptop, and then from here it goes into the third screen. So that's the way it works. If I wanted to have my monitor just at the center, then this is what I am going to do. It has its own flexibility that comes with it, but you arrange it based on the way you want it. Some people would want the two screens to be before the monitor, but that would be like you are moving towards your left hand. I'm right-handed and I prefer to move this way. So I keep it back where it was and then I apply it so that it returns to what it was. On the side of the brightness, so if you don't know which of the screen is which, you click on this identify. It shows you all the screens. The laptop is 1, 2, 3. But the other thing you need to also focus on is if I change this setting, for instance, if I say duplicate, very often when you set up, the screens might just be on that display mode. So let me see if we can see that clearly. So this is extended at the moment. But if you open your laptop settings and it has duplicate, what duplicate means is that exactly what is on the laptop screen is what you will have on the other screens that you've bought, on the other monitors. But that's not what you want, because if you do that, it kills off the flexibility of doing multiple things, multitasking on the different monitors. What you want to do is to do it extended, set it as extended, because if you set it as duplicate, then it's just going to carry the same thing on the monitor screen to all the other screens there. But I don't want that, so I'm going to revert and return back to my extended option, because the extended is what I want. And very often when you have this, you can go down through the other settings, which are sometimes really not relevant. But if you really do want to, you can modify brightness, you can change quite a number of things and all that and all that. But that's it for now on how the system is set up. I'm going to do a couple more videos on how to do, like how to set this up, how to adjust the brightness of the monitors, and how to ensure that you get the perfect brightness on this particular monitor. So I'll do a couple of reviews on this. I will also do a different video on how to the categories of Asus laptops and which of them would need the StarTech and which of them would need the other kind of Type-C USB. This is Academy of Scholarships and Transitions. I believe you love this tech review, and if there are any issues, any questions, whatever you have to ask, please go ahead and drop those questions in the comment section. If this video was useful to you, just say thank you in the comment section, and also remember to subscribe. If you have not followed me across other social media platforms, my handles are linked in the description of this page, of this channel. So go there and click that follow button there. Follow the links and then follow across board. I am on TikTok, I am on Facebook, I am on Twitter, I am on LinkedIn, just everywhere. So this is it. Academy of Scholarships and Transitions. Thank you so much for watching today. Alright, so that was it for today. Thanks so much for watching. This is Academy of Scholarships and Transitions. I am on Facebook, on TikTok, on LinkedIn, on Twitter. On Facebook, I have two profiles or two ways you can find me: through my Facebook page, Academy of Scholarships and Transitions, or through my personal profile, Augustine Okechukwu-Chukwuemeka. On LinkedIn as well, that's where I do most of my professional discussions. If you're an oil and gas engineer or anybody who works in the space of decommissioning, data analysis, or any of those kind of areas, you would be glad to follow me on LinkedIn. On TikTok, I also do similar things that I do on this YouTube channel. Looking out to seeing your engagements and looking forward to answering your questions. Whichever one you've got, this is Academy of Scholarships and Transitions. The links to my other profiles and my other locations on social media are all in the description of this channel. Go hit that link and go follow. This is Academy of Scholarships and Transitions. Thank you for watching. Bye bye for now, and stay tuned for more tech reviews, especially if you work from a home office. We're going to do a couple of sessions on Excel, how to use Excel, special features of Microsoft Word, special features of PowerPoint, how to do amazing presentations that keep your audience engaged, how to do a whole lot of things to win different scholarships, to build professional networks. All of these are in the package that we run here. So see you and stay around. Don't go away. Bye bye for now.